Tish Griffin back here again to talk with you guys about your debt, your finances, budgeting, and whatever help you may need with handling and managing money. Now, before we delve in, I want you, if you have questions, to reach out to Family Credit Management at 800-994-3328 or go online to Family Credit's website at familycredit.org. And just want you to keep in mind that if you have any questions at all about debt, finances, establishing your budget, dealing with your creditors, that's what Family Credit is there for. Looking for a way to deal with your debt. And I know debt can be stressful. Dealing with your creditors can be stressful. And trying to make things better for you and your family can also be stressful. So I want you to reach out, use them as a resource, and know that they're there to help. They're a great resource for you at 800-994-3328. So, over the past few weeks, we've gotten a lot of questions on dealing with your credit report. So, I wanted to talk to you about that. At the beginning of the year 2025, we are in it to win it. We are looking at making our finances better. And a lot of people are more conscious on how to do that or wanting to make your finances better. Your credit report is a key part of that. So I want you to start off by looking at your credit report as often as you can. Set a date in your calendar to review your credit report at least 3 to 4 times a year. You may want to do it quarterly. For some people, we look at it often, but it's really up to you. Your credit shows who you are, and it shows what you can actually apply for, what credit you can get, and it shows your responsibility. So we want you to be able to get anything that you need and anything that may work for you. But you've got to keep everything in order. Right now, the credit bureaus are all under fire, and sometimes they are, it looks like they're in some lawsuits with some key groups, which is why it's best for you right now, if you're thinking about your credit and you're thinking about what you can do with your credit, how to make things better, you know that there are some things there that probably aren't accurate. Now is a good time for you to go in and look at your credit report and see if you need to dispute that item or get something removed because it's not right, it's not yours, and it should not be there. Right now is the best time for you to go in and do that. Beginning of the year, let's get our finances in order. When you think about the credit bureaus, there are 3 major credit bureaus that we use here. We've got TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And we talk about them all the time because they keep track of everything we do and everyone in the United States. And a lot of times we may feel like there's some things that go wrong. Our score is not where it should be. Our report doesn't look great. But you have the power to change that. Now, if you need some help and you're not sure how to keep everything together, go to Family Credit's website. Personal Finance Made Easy is a free download for you to actually put your finances together and get things in order. And in this book, there is information on how to keep your credit together, how to look at your report, and where to get your report from. There's a lot of different tools out there, a lot of different ways where people are saying, we can give you your report for free. All you have to do is pay $24.99. Or we can give you your report for free. All you have to do is sign up for our services or sign up for this type of watch. We want you to be careful with that. Some of these places out there, they are there to make money. Honestly, all businesses are out there to make money, right? That's why they exist. And if someone figures out a way where they can make money off of what you need, they will do just that. I want you to know that if you are looking for your credit report, you can go online to annualcreditreport.com and get your credit report from each one of the 3 bureaus. Now, when you go to annualcreditreport.com, what's going to happen is that it is going to take you to a place where you see access to TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. It's going to ask you, which report do you want? Now, depending on which one you want, you will need to set up an account. And if this is your first time doing it, yes, set up that account. If you've done it in the past, you may still have your login for what you've done before. But you're able to access each one of those bureaus through annualcreditreport.com. Write that down, go to their site. And let's start off by getting one of those reports Now, when you get the report, it's going to have a lot of information on it, okay? So when you're looking at your report, when you log in and you're looking at your report, don't be overwhelmed, okay? The report is actually different from the score. But in order to get the score looks at everything on your report. So it's like they're going together, they play together. And so you want to be able to look at your report and not just focus on the number. I know it's so easy for us to think about that number, and that's all we get stuck in our head. I've got a 680, I've got a 640, I've got a 720. And we wonder whether it's good or not. Now keep in mind, that actual score ranges from 350 to 850 on a basic scale, right? And depending on, there's 3 different models, 3 different scores. So it's like, which one am I actually looking at? It depends on what report you're trying to access. And a lot of times, if you're just going for that number, it'll tell you which model that they actually used. But you do need to look at the report itself to see if the information is correct. So if you're looking at your score and it says that your score is, let's say, 610, right? But last month you noticed that it was 710. And you're like, well, what happened? Why did my score fall? You may get some notices from the credit bureaus about your score, but you actually want to look at the actual report to see where that information came from. It could be legit, it couldn't. And then again, sometimes it's not. Sometimes your report can get messed up or confused with someone else. You can have some information that's on there incorrectly. You can have a wrong address, which is why you want to actually sit down, pull that report first and start going through it. You want to make sure that everything on that report is accurate, from your name and how it's spelled to your address, your last known address. Sometimes it may ask for your phone number. It may show that. And you just want to make sure that everything on there is accurate, because yes, this does affect your standings. It does affect who you are and what you can get access to. Then you want to sit down and let's start going through what's called the trades on your actual credit report. You want to make sure that if you've got some open accounts, everything is shown open, everything is yours. The balance is as accurate as can be. Keep in mind that just because your balance, you may have made a payment and brought your balance down to $200. But on your credit report, it says that your actual balance is $580, right? Keep in mind, we've got to give that report time to report what we just did. So if you make a payment today, you want to think in your mind, it may take 30 days or so for it to reflect correctly on your credit report to you. And that's just a normal part of life. So we want to be able to look at these reports and see what it is, the information that's on there, how it best fits our situation, if it's accurate. And we just want to take it with a grain of salt. Don't take it for gospel, because things change each and every single day, and our score can fluctuate, our report can fluctuate. But we want to make sure that we know what's on there and keep in mind what our score is. The importance of that is that the last thing you want to do is go apply for a loan and be turned down. So that's why it's important that you stick it in your phone right now, your calendar right now. The days that you want to look at your report, maybe like I said, 4 times during the year or 3 times during the year, whatever you set it up for, so that you can follow along with your score and know what's there. Now you may say, well, I don't even know how long I've had a score. When did the scores even start? The day that you first applied for credit, however many years ago, how long ago, that's when the credit bureau started keeping track of you and what you're spending, what you're doing at the credit bureaus. No matter how old you are, you have to be at least 18 for them to start keeping track. But once you hit that 18 mark and you apply for something, they knew about it and they were keeping track of it. So our scores, our history, it runs with us for years. The actual report will have up to 10 years if something went bad on your report, or just if something is good and it's always reporting that way, it's going to keep track of that. Let's say you have a mortgage and it's reporting each and every single month for the past 22 years. That information is going to be there because that account is good. It's in good standings. If something is bad, it'll stay on your report from 10 years, up to 10 years from the date it went bad. Now, a lot of the things on our report, when something goes bad, it'll stay for 7 years at least, right? And you may say, man, if it's going to affect my score that long, then what am I supposed to do? Why even try? But even though that's there, it's not really going to affect your score that long if you work to make things better for yourself. And what I mean by that is, even though something went bad on your report, if you set in your mind that you're going to make a positive change, you're going to look at what you can do to increase your score, then things will start to happen positively on your report and it will improve. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for some positives to counteract any negatives that may be showing on your report. And so you want to just sit and look at what's going on. If you've got something that went bad, when was it reported? That's the important thing. Looking at that report, you've got some collection agencies on there. You've got some medical bills showing on there. You want to say, what date did it hit my report? And then you want to say, how long ago was that? If you've got some things that are there on your report and they are older than 2 years, you may not want to worry about that as much as those things that have recently happened. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because even though your report follows you for years and years, your score only takes into account the last 24 months worth of history. So that means if you make it in your mind that you're going to make some positive changes now and you're going to make things better now, be it you're going to get a secured card, you're going to make your payments on time, you're going to take that account that just went bad and you're going to bring it current and continue making your payments on time. If you're doing that now, 3 or 4 months from now, your score is going to be better. 6 months from now, even better. A year from now, they may or may not have even known that actually had an effect on your score. 2 years from now, it won't matter at all because you've taken the steps necessary to make things better. But it's up to you because, yes, you do need to work at it. You do need to make things better for you. It's not just going to happen overnight. You need to sit down and consciously say, what can I do to make things better on my report for me? Now, there are a lot of different people out there, different businesses out there that say, hey, we can do that for you. I can make your credit good. I can make everything better on your report. I can make the bad stuff go away. Be cautious with that because you have the power on your own to make those things go away. If you work diligently, you set up a repayment plan, you're working directly with your creditors, you're working with a great nonprofit debt management company that can help you with that. And if you've got some questions about that, you can reach out to Family Credit to say, hey, how will my creditors work with me? Will they reduce the interest rates? Can they accept lower payments? They can help you figure all of that out. But you've got to put the work in to do that. There's some companies out there that say, hey, if you just give us this money, we'll make it all go away. You want to make sure that you are doing the work as well. If you're working with someone, you should be working hand in hand with them to get those things corrected and better on your report. How do you do that? By paying your bills on time, making more than your minimum payments when you can, and just making sure that you have keeping in contact with your creditors when something happens, when things go bad. Again, go to Family Credit's website, familycredit.org, or call 800-994-3328 and talk to a counselor, because anytime someone tells you that you just give us this money to make things go away, be cautious. I've seen people that will do what they call as debt settlement and go with a credit repair place that says that they can repair your credit. All of that, you want to be cautious with it. What happens in a lot of those instances is that if you are looking to make things better and you're going through, you're looking at the collection agencies and you're calling someone else to try and help you, let's say you reach out to a debt settlement company, what they're doing you can do on your own, or you can do with the right help. But anytime, let's say they say you need to pay them $1,000 up front and then maybe like $300 a month. That $1,000 that you just paid up front, or that $300, all of that you're paying monthly, that could be going towards getting your debt down and working on it the right way, as opposed to you just throwing money to someone else. And a lot of these companies, what they do is they just dispute something on your credit report. Disputes you can do yourself as well. If you go to annualcreditreport.com and you log on and you look at those three credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, they have educational centers and a way for you to dispute items on your own. Because if there's inaccurate information or something's on your report that shouldn't be, you can get that taken off because it's not right. And yes, you can only dispute inaccuracies. Now, anytime you do a dispute and that information is found to be inaccurate, they will remove that information from your credit report. They're going to update it. If you do if you're going to pay off the account, they will update it to show paid in full. If you are going to settle on an account, they will update it to show that that balance has been paid for less than full balance. Now, most of the time, that does have an effect on your credit report because you are paying for something that's less than what that debt may have been or what you originally borrowed, whatever the case may be. So it may affect your score. But if that means that debt is being taken care of and you don't have to worry about the rest of that balance, then it may work in your favor because now, guess what? Even though you've settled for an account, the balance is gone. It's not shown on your report, but it did drop it just a little bit. You knew that was going to happen. And now you can work to make things better because guess what? Again, our score only looks at what we do recently, the last 24 months worth of history. So now that debt is gone, we can work at whatever money we were paying for that. We can look at something else. We can put that money in savings. We can look at paying off of another bill. And we can work on making payments on the credit cards that we have left, paying down those balances, and that is what's going to increase our score again. So we want to always keep that in mind. Do what we can to make sure that our debt is being taken care of, looking at the credit report, making sure things are updated on it as well. So if we do something positive on there, we want it to reflect. When you are sitting down, you're looking at your debt, and you are having problems with it, you want to make a repayment plan for your creditors, you want to talk to them, see what you can do. Also, when you're calling them and you're asking them what can be done, and is the settlement offer right for you, or you need some help, reach out to a counselor, Family Credit Management, 800-994-3328, and grab that valuable information. Again, looking at personal finance made easy, some of this information is available to you right at your fingertips. There's some great articles as well on how you can look at recovering from financial disaster. There's some information in here on making your money work for you. It is not a detriment. You have the ability to do this on your own or to work directly with the counselor and come up with a plan that's going to make things better for you. Again, reach out to a counselor at 800-994-3328 or go online to familycredit.org. So we want to take a little step back. We were talking again about just working on your finances, looking at your credit report, pulling that information up directly with the credit bureaus, getting the right information, and making sure that whatever is on your report is accurate. And a lot of people that I've talked to recently, they're struggling on how to pay these bills back because they don't have a lot of money coming in or out. Again, we need to know what you're working with in order to make this happen. And so you want to sit down, again, looking at the Personal Finance Made Easy or whatever guide you may be using, looking at your budget to figure out what extra money you have in your budget that can help pay off your debt. Now, the goal is for you not to be in debt forever. If you have credit cards and you've got collection agencies and you're struggling with your finances and you want to know, you just want to get out from under it, but you're not really taking steps to do that, and you say, well, I'm just going to make my minimum payments. I know when my credit card statements come, I need to make $20 a month, and I'm going to keep that going. With you just making your minimum payments on your credit cards, it may take you years to pay that debt off. And just your standard credit card making your minimum payment, you're probably looking at 20 years or more just making a minimum payment to just pay that off. And you want to do this faster, right? One of the things that I've noticed this year alone, even though rates may be going down when they're available to consumers, with inflation, all of the credit card interest rates, the prices that we pay, the money that we use each and every single day, it's going to become harder and harder for us to maintain unless we take these steps now. That's why credit card interest rates are expected to increase. So you got your credit card, and you may think that you just got this credit card, and a lot of the introductory rates that a lot of people are seeing right now to get a credit card, to get started, to get your credit started, you're looking at 35.9% or more. And if I'm telling you right now that new credit cards are going to be even higher than that, we really want to make sure that we can make our minimum payments and more on its debt to get that debt gone. That should be our goal. We want debt-free living. We want to be able to get debt when we need it, but not pay debt for the rest of our lives. So if we're going to sit down right now, write out all of your credit card balances, your minimum payments, and the amounts that you pay each and every single month. I want you to sit down, write that out. There's a spot for you to do it here in Personal Finance Made Easy, or you can just use whatever notebook or tracking system that you have. I want you to write all of that out. Write down your balances. Write down the different credit cards that you have, the balances, your minimum payments, what your balance is right now, and the interest rate that you're paying on it each and every single month. Now, a lot of times we look at that interest rate number and we say, okay, I'm paying 27% interest, I'm paying 13% interest, but what does that really mean to you? I want you to go a step further. Look at your statement, look at your credit card statement, and look at the actual finance charge that you're paying out each and every single month. That finance charge, that comes into a dollar amount. So it's not, that number becomes more real. It's not just 12%, 13%, 35.99%. When you look at the finance charges that you pay each and every single month, now you're looking at that has a number. I know I'm paying $115 each and every single month just in interest on this debt. Is that something that I want to continue to do? And if not, how long do I think I can maintain? Because paying that much just in finance charges, think about it. I would rather have $115 that I'm putting into an account every single month to save versus paying it to someone else for credit card debt. I would rather become my own bank than pay it to someone else. But how do we get to that point? We've got to get to that point by making this debt go away. So if I'm paying $115 per month in finance charges, what else can I add to it? Instead of paying $115, can I pay $130 per month? And let me look at that. Now, when you're looking at your debt, you're calculating all of this, you're looking at your discretionary income, what you want to do is look at the creditor with either the highest interest rate or the lowest balance. Now, whichever way you go, you're going to pay your debt off in the same amount of time. And this is called the snowball effect. You're going to be making your minimum payments on each and every single account that you have, but you're going to pick one special account. And you're going to take, with this one special account, you're going to put all the extra money that you may have, that discretionary income, that extra that we set aside to go in towards that debt, and we're going to put it on that account. Now, that account should pay off within the next few months if you're doing this right. When you're done paying off that account, you got a zero balance, great job for you. And you're going to take that amount and you're going to put it on the next bill, the next one that you're doing. And you're going to keep going like that. This snowball effect will get you paid off within 3 to 5 years. And if you were able to put more towards it, it'll pay you off even sooner. That's what we want to see happen for you. And while you're doing that, you've got your minimum payments already covered, which means that you're paying your bills on time. Yes, that's improving your score, right? You're paying your bills on time. You're looking at that credit card debt come down. You're looking at being able to watch those collection agencies go away. That balance is going to stay zero. And you may say, well, I've been dealing with this collection agency. They want me to make a $200 a month payment, and I can't do that. If you're able to put something on it, let's do that. You may have a large balance or a small balance, whatever that balance may be, whatever you put on it. Let's say even if it's just $10 a month, next month, they're going to report to the credit bureaus, and they're going to report that that balance has decreased by what? $10. And each and every single month is going to get better. So you can be focused on your credit cards, making those go away. And then you're looking at the collection agencies and you're slowly bringing them down. It takes discipline. It takes a plan in action. It takes you doing the work. And that's what I mean. You can do this work on your own or work with a credit counselor. Counselors are standing by at Family Credit Management, and you can talk with someone that will help you through it at 800-994-3328, because yes, that snowball effect really does work for you to get rid of your debt, get it out from under this debt that's holding you down, and be able to take this amount that you're paying each and every single month to your credit cards, and now we can start saving it and watching it grow. And that is what we want. We want to be on the road to financial freedom. And you can do it in less time than you think. Again, any money that you're throwing out, we want to be able to plug those spending leaks up and say, I'm going to be disciplined with my finances, especially in the new year. And I am going to wait for that money to grow. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be diligent, paying off these credit card debts. I'm going to work with my finances by going in, setting up your budget, looking at what creditors that you can pay more to, working out a plan, a spending plan with the counselor at Family Credit, looking over your budget. And again, you got to keep looking at your credit report. It's not just a one-time only thing. Your credit changes as your life changes. The more money that you're able to pay out and get your creditors together, the better off, the higher your score should be. But also it's about being diligent. When that happens and your debt is paid in full, how do I maintain and keep my score that way? I want to keep a positive score. You're going to have to do some things to keep that credit open as well and keep everything going great. So I want to see you succeed. I want to see you do that. Reach out to a counselor, get the advice that you need, the help that you need, and use them for a trusted resource. Again, keep in mind, you want to keep an eye on your score. We'll talk some more about that next time as we bring some other tips for you. Looking at tax season, what you can do with your tax refunds to make things better for you as well. If you've got any questions, reach out to Family Credit at 800-994-3328 or go online at familycredit.org. Talk with the counselor and make your money work for you. You've got it. I know you can. And if you've got any questions, just reach out. We'll see you again next time. Take care.